So the following program, we'd like to offer a panel discussion. The moderator will be Mr. Joichito. So let me introduce the member of the panel. I'd like to introduce Mayor of Shibuya, Mr. Ken Hasebe. And also, as we have received a speech, Mr. Takuya Hirai. Thank you very much. Thank you. So now, Ito-san, please. Yes, thank you very much. So, Hirai-san, you have already talked, so maybe I would like to ask Hasebe-san, your self-introduction, what you do in the Shibuya as a mayor of Shibuya. Oh, hello, nice to meet you. And my name is Hasebe, mayor of Shibuya. So I am working at the Shibuya City Hall right behind this building. And I was born in Shibuya, I was brought up in Shibuya, and now I've celebrated my 50th anniversary. And this city have gone through a tremendous amount of change, and I've seen that being a child. And Shibuya City, not only Shibuya alone, but from Ebisu to Sasazuka, the Shibuya ward or Shibuya City is quite large. So as a city, it's very new. So the Edo era, is from Akasaka beyond. It was the ocean. So this is really the suburb of the suburb. So it has enlarged after the Civil War period. But many people from Japan have gathered together in Shibuya, and there's a mingling and mixture of people creating new set of value here. And of course, now we have fashion, cultures, and also IT. Many IT enterprises are gathered together here. And now we are nurturing a new set of value with mingling of these different, of course, dimensions. So, of course, government to nurture culture is not easy. But we hope that we would like to encourage them and not to hinder them at the least, so that this potential of the city would be maximized. So that is how I lead the city as a mayor. So specifically, in terms of the digital local currency, we are preparing for something like that, or maybe ICT, introduction to school education. And there is a rebuilding of the school facility that we need to think about what the future of school would look like. So Web3 for one thing. But of course, in terms of the relationship with the internet is something that is of a must that we need to consider. Thank you very much. So this time at this conference, we run this conference every year. And when we ask people to come to Japan, many people will come. But despite the fact that people are really busy, there was close to zero who had declined or offered to come to Japan. There are some family issues who couldn't come here. But despite that, in the panel, there's a lot of Japanese living or being active outside of Japan. They want to do something in Japan, but they had not been able to do so far. So starting from Shibuya, and those people who love Japan, young culture, strongly influenced by Japan, but there are a lot of reasons why they cannot do their business in Japan. So it leads to Hirai-san, the talk earlier, but we all know, like the NFT white paper, LDP, the details are in. And I sent to all the overseas friends, and they said, oh, Japan's so versed about the situation. I feel relieved. But nothing have changed. So I said, the LDP is now have taken the administration. Please give us time. So the growth strategy is so important now, and such a important topics right now, inclusive of the momentum of startup. But frankly speaking, do you think this is going to work out? Or what can we do to make it work in terms of the success rate, local and central, both government representative? Changing the law and regulation is hard to do, but the so-called soft law, well, there are things that guideline would help to maneuver things. So we should take it one by one. But the protecting the consumer or anti-money laundering, those, of course, there are a lot of people who have concern on these things, and those voices are sometimes better heard in case of Japan. So, at the end of the day, we have to be mindful about this opinion, and we're doing something like this, so you should be rest assured. But it's a welcome. Let's get together and do together. So we would like to define the basic sort of a path or route. So this is embedded in a new capitalism. So this is something that we must do. So it's going to make progress. But the speed of the progress in case of Japan is now, you talked about the white paper of the P, and each of the ministries are in depth working this out, but it takes time. But people Web3, the progression of the speed is after 1 month, they take a leap forward, and really catching this up, the politicians are impossible to catch up. So we kind of have given up. But Joy-san, you're helping us, and the area that we should catch up, and the direction, clear set of direction that this is where we need to move towards, that's become evident. So some regulations that people will be safe, being able to feel safe about, is something that we would like to do. And why people are leaving Japan is gray zone. And there's a lot of maybe tax that's been levied, that's a concern. And maybe what they have done in the past could be denied altogether. And we want to do away with that. So do you think this could be done away with? Yes, I think so, yes. So Hasebe-san, we have been mingling together, but you are very agile, and because of the energy of people living in Shibuya, you're doing a lot of startup things already. So how much expectation, and where are you on this?
I'm glad that you said we are working quickly, but it's almost like a dream sometimes. You can't really materialize it because people do the negative check, so-called. It looks dubious, but it sounds fun. And people don't really believe in that type of story. So what I'm thinking is you have to create a success story or case studies. So people may wait and then see, but that at least the project should start first. Otherwise, in 1 month, that everything can change. Meanwhile, even you are so behind, if you change your system and then when you catch up, then you may be able to create some innovations. So I don't have to be patient, but then again, I have to be really work on it. I think security is important, and 2 days after, we are going to have another conference about the securities, and then people from the government will discuss on these things. So consumer protection is good, but we shouldn't start from there. Like the government has a sandbox so that you can do some experiment. In case of Web3, is there any way to do it? I would like you to do it, Hasebe-san, that you are the mayor of Shibuya, but you have some diet or parliament, and unless you have the parliament support, you can't do it. But I think Shibuya ward is the best. So I would like you to raise your hand voluntarily to do it. We can help you. We can support you. Yes, I'm willing to do it. I have to talk to Parliament, but I think that Parliament will also support this idea. So Shibuya is the town which challenge new things, and Parliament members are willing for that. And we have also approved the LGBTQ for the official marriage. And in Shibuya, through Parliament, we created the ordinance to really certificate the LGBTQ partners. So I'm proud of that. And I think we can challenge new things. And I really want to create that environment. DAO, maybe you can try. Yes, I wish I can do that. Shibuya DAO. I really love Shibuya, so I'm so excited if we could do that. So DAO is not for profit. You can create the community DAO, like a PTA type of DAO. You can conduct experiment there. So I think that DAO may work to solve the problems of the local community of Shibuya. And also startup company can work on that. We have a partnership with a startup and been doing the demonstration test. And if we can do it in a special economic zone, then there will be a relaxation of a regulation. So I give you one example. We have so much the graffiti in the Shibuya. Sometimes we create a special wall so that artists can draw paintings and as a legal wall, but maybe we can make it as a business or revitalization of the community. I think there are similar type of projects. So I really want to pick up those interesting. So local currency, Hirai-san mentioned about the ecology, low carbon, and CO2 related issues. So I was going to say this, but when it comes to low carbon, there are different types of carbon tokens, but the most difficult one is you really have to audit them and whether it is really eco-friendly or not. So some carbon project is at the foresting, like planting a tree, but the intermediary takes lots of commissions. So the one in the urban areas, cheap carbon tokens could be the fraudulent type of things. And the investment goes into the carbon token, and sometimes you don't have enough token. And when you buy cheap carbon token, then many of them are like a dubious or sometimes fraudulent, like you build a dam, but it is not really physical dam. So that's why the carbon market victory eroded the other day. So you have to have the audit. So community or ward or government, you really have to certify. But it takes energy. The private organizations are currently certifying them. So the carbon itself, quality is not so good at this moment. So maybe ward or government can really check the carbon source. I think it is rather rare in the world. I think you can work on it. Yes, there is a possibility because Japan has a very solid infrastructure there, but the Japanese are not good at making it as a business, commercializing it. But when the government get involved, I think you can increase the trust. And measurement or tokenomics or token economy, there are many good technology, but not the country which are seriously working on it. So maybe you, the Shibuya ward mayor, can take that project in your ward and maybe working on the eco-friendly projects. Yes, I think there is a possibility there. So combining green technology and digital technology, that is one of the two pillars of the Kishida administrative strategy. The Prime Minister Kishida said in the UK that comparing to other country leaders, he has been mentioning about the green and also the digital technology. So the regular laws are created by the bureaucrats. But now Prime Minister Kishida has been saying that, so it's sort of top-down. So the probably bureaucrats don't want Prime Minister to say those initiatives, but he's already said it in the global arena, so you have to do it. And bureaucrats didn't know how to implement it, but since Prime Minister already said it, they must think of how to implement it. The Prime Minister shown the direction, but he didn't really think about the actual operationalizing it in detail. But he shown the will to do it. I think that was pretty critical. So when law is created, what's going to happen? Relaxation of the law or regulations is one thing, but if they want to do it in Shibuya or Yamakoshi village, so the people living in that city or the companies which are operating like this in Shibuya, so what would be the growth strategy? Before we talk about the regular people's involvement, those vested interest holders, they are opposed to them, like energy companies. So how do we overcome the opposition of the incumbent energy companies? And if it is actually reflected in the higher cost of the power or electric utility fee, people will be opposed to that because they always have to think of the day-to-day livelihood rather than being friendly to the environment. So we have to make sure that the regular people can also resonate with this idea. The sustainability is one thing, and people are saving electricity, and people are concerned about this. So we really have to harmonize these three things.
I see. So in the city level, well, the state government, of course, need to involve the prime minister, and there's going to be a lot of change. But what about the city? What can you do? So energy and environment, I think, is too broad for us. It's not something that Shibuya city alone will be able to achieve. But in terms of graffiti in the city streets, or sort of a children fees. We have given special children's allowances or childcare allowances, but maybe they're utilizing for other pachinko games. And also, there are many volunteers here in the city of Shibuya. When we pay for what they do, it's okay, but let's say we can issue a token effectively for the volunteers so they will be able to enjoy the benefit. Maybe we'll be able to come up with that kind of a scheme. So I think this is the area the elderlies are not good at. But if we try them, maybe the elderly people, there are some people who are versed in utilizing them. 1,500 people, we are given smartphone, and we're working on this trial. And 102 years old grandma, I should have started when I was 90, she said. And she not really averse with the local currency, but she's starting to utilize digital currency. So we need time. So rather than tackling a broad sort of a target, I think it would be better something that reflects our city, and we can run a POC test in Shibuya. So the Web3 for the suburban area, Hirai-san, what would be the timing and how would this evolve? So Shiba City in Iwate Prefecture, Web3 city, they declare themselves as Web3 city. Something like this could have never been thought of. I'm being invited for the opening ceremony. I don't know what I'm expected to do here, but various locations in Japan. So Web3, when you start Web3, there are new people who you can get connected to who did not live in those areas. So not the physical population, but related population. So those people in the city or in the region trying to come up with the idea that there's already so much that you can do, and there's no new idea that could be generated. So we need to invite new people from outside, new stakeholders, so new ideas, trying to do something new. So that, I think, is the backdrop to the Web3 declaration of this Iwate Prefecture. So Yamakoshi village, many people are buying the token from Yamakoshi city or village, and the small village now has connections or network of its own. So the similar thing, they are stimulated. So the local government, a certain level of trust already does exist as a basics. Yes, I understand. If the city is involved, the village is involved. So rather than some unknown people starting this, it's better to start with the basic trust. And at the beginning, you may not smell monetization, but ultimately it's going to contribute back to the economy. And the suburban people, the fact that they can communicate with or connect themselves with different part of the world is sort of the value. So Yamakoshi village, maybe there are a lot of cities that will also follow Yamakoshi. Yes, I think they are all feeling that they should have done it earlier. So in city, I mean, what kind of people will bring idea to Shibuya City and asking Shibuya City to help in nurturing this? If it's a startup, we have a window. If you propose the new startup, then Shibuya can help for the POC and demonstration within Shibuya. We can do that. And there are very different people. Like Hayashi-san, you're here, but we have a lot of different discussion. And of course, we said, listening to you and said, okay, let's do it. That's not as easy as that, but it's going to be open proposal. We are going to make selection. So I hope that you'll be able to talk to us. Jason was saying that they want entrepreneur visas. And this is such easy, simple way. Who or what, how will be done? LDP is now about to propose this visa. So yes, you need to issue visa, of course. That's not only 1 year, right? Multiple years. So Shibuya is now creating one-stop sort of shop so that we'll be able to issue a visa, but we need to step in deeper for this area. And also, I'm sorry, jumping to different sort of topic. So a state is investing in other countries' fund. Hirai-san, you undertaking this, the Japan state government, in making investment in other countries. Yes, well, the VC market that sort of exists here, but we don't have a VC market, robust market. So the VC around the world, we need to incept know-how from outside because with IPO, the growth stops. And the latter stage, money funding, we're not good at that. So then, do we have an accelerator? Then, in Japan, it's very handful, very limited. So we wanted to make more international. So the fund here in Japan, ZIP and DBJ, it's for the sake of Japanese companies. It's for open innovation. But not from that angle, but from the outside world. Japan? Well, it could be outside of Japan too. So the fund, connoisseur will be able to make the judgment and have the nose to make the judgment. We have two things that we're trying to do for startup. Startup campus. Yes, so I cannot disclose this too much, right? Yes? No. We're thinking about startup campus. And overseas, we have a similar startup campus. West Coast probably will be the location. And create a campus here in Japan. Then the Asian startup can come to this campus. In Japan market, the POC, we all help that from the government. So starting from Japan, the global company. So startup here in Japan. Those are the plan that we are putting together right now. So the report I've seen last time is Israel and Korea, South Korea, making overseas fund coming to their countries and revitalizing them, and they were lucrative, I heard. Yes, Yozuma is a name in Israel. That approach of Israel is something that we look closely to, and South Korea as well. The ways and means are slightly different, but something similar. So I think there's a great amount of change compared to 15 years ago. I mean, the fact that there are something that is being thought of. 15 years ago, it's hard to imagine that. To make it international, I don't say this is a last opportunity, but we have to do it now. Otherwise, we would lose competitiveness. Yes. And this time, the Russia and Ukraine issue and China. The question is, which country are you going to work? So economic security aspect, which is very difficult. So NFT in the paper, this is some countries that are sanctioned. How are we going to stop the remittance of money to this country is something that Japan and US have to work together on.
So with the like-minded countries, we have to discuss on this type of issues. It's already included in the white paper, and it will take place in the future. So in that sense, that we have to accommodate those people who coming from overseas. We've done a lot with Olympics Games. The visa and the laws are one things, but in Shibuya, like I think that there are very many companies which have foreign CEOs. So first, we were very reactive. Like we didn't know that why many foreign equity companies are coming to Shibuya, and I attended today's conference, and I feel like people are coming from overseas. So I really want to make a home run with this. So you really have to create the startup with the foreign equity, and we want to attract the foreign companies, so acquiring the visa, opening up accounts, and also introduce where you live. So many countries, I think first one was one from France. But due to COVID-19, this project has stopped for a while. But now, again, we can start working on it. So I really want to accelerate this project. So is that like a startup visa? Startup visa is valid for 1 year, but they prefer to have several years, not just 1 year. And also, when they grow, then if they go outside of Shibuya Ward, that will be very sad. So I really want to keep attracting them. So you can't really contain them inside the Shibuya Ward. It's okay for them to go. But we just wanted to be the central position for that. Shibuya should host lots of global events, international events. And this conference is one of them. But I want you to host more global events so that government and also ministries can jointly support you or jointly organize it. So yes, I'm ready for that acceleration events, and in others we are planning. Then we can't host everything. Shibuya Ward is based on the tax from the residents, so we have to return those tax as a services for the local residents. But lots of people working here, so GMOs and then cyber agents. So you don't get the corporate tax. Tokyo Metropolitan Government levy those corporate tax. So that I hope that the government will support us so that we can host more things. And the local agents also pay tax to other local autonomies. So I feel pity for Shibuya Ward. Thank you very much for saying that. And so we are not that affluent, so that we have to think of making both ends meet. You look rich, but we are different from Minato Ward. So the regular people don't know that. I understand that condition, so that's why I want to support you. You can fund a project. So maybe you can relax the regulation about the funding, and I hope that you will give us more options in languages such as English, because there are only 2 banks, I would say, that you can actually open up the account with English. And when I research, I use English, but I don't get those information in English, so on the web. So if you don't get the same amount of information as Japanese language, then you feel discouraged. If you want to get some subsidy or something, you should really have to make it English. Maybe you can create a making the project as an English language DAO type of thing, so that you can fund them and then you can really translate the information into English. So you can create a community DAO, and the Shibuya ward can support you. So it's almost like a furusato tax, like paying a tax for other local autonomies, but that is for Shibuya version, so that you can support these different projects and inviting foreigners to Japan, to Isebe. Hasebe-san and myself used to work at the ad agencies, so that we should be the experts there. The people who used to work at the other agencies really have to make it. So you know the key persons in different industries, so easy for you to really implement these projects. Thank you very much. So, 2 panelists and also Ito-san, thank you so much.